All right, we're gonna do an update on this truck. This is one I put together last year, a couple weeks ago, and I put it together out of stuff I had, and just used what I had laying around. This is the 6.0. I got it for $300. It came out of an 05 2500. And it had dropped the valve seat and tore up number 1 piston and the cylinder head, the 317 head. So I hauled the cylinder out and put another dish LQ4 piston and rod in it. Put it together. This one had the Summit high torque cam and 243 heads. I put a stiffer spring in the oil pump and had great oil pressure, ran great. I was really impressed with the truck. It's 4-wheel drive. It's a 373 truck, and the tires are a little they're 285 where it should have a 265, so they're a little taller than stock. Again, that's what I had. Truck ran great. I was very impressed with it. We put a set of 1 7/8 long tubes on it. It's got 2500 HD exhaust. That is a stock converter. I don't know how many miles are on that transmission. That came out of the red truck, and I drained the fluid from the pan, put fresh fluid in it, and it seemed to shift fine and everything. I'll probably do an HD2 kit on it this time. But we got home yesterday. I was out of town. Got home yesterday afternoon and put it in the shop, and when I just went ahead and pulled it out because last time I was driving it, I saw the oil pressure gauge jumping around and knew immediately what the problem was. So, knew it had to come back out. So, went ahead and pulled it out. This front main was kind of rough and beat up. So, I'll probably put another main bearing in it. Everything else looked good. I'll probably go ahead and hone all the cylinders. We made an absolute mess pulling this thing out last night. I mean, just a mess. The humidity was like 90%. I mean, the humidity here right now is just horrible. It's supposed to thunderstorm today, and we really made a mess. Well, I did. I did. So, anyway, I'll take a look at this. Went ahead and knocked the rest of the cam bearings out. Let's see, I don't see the bad one. But this is the Summit cam. Really liked it. Good cam. You can see where the bearing got it. So I'll clean that up with some emery cloth and send it again. This is the number 1 main bearing. That just looks kind of beat up. So I'll stick another one in it. Had great oil pressure again. In this oil pump, I put the stronger spring that comes in the Melling oil pump. And like I say, again, it had really good oil pressure. Did fine. I put new gaskets in it, new cam plates, you can see over there. And again, I was very happy with the truck. Very disappointed this has happened. This is the crank out of it. See number 1 right there. It's not terrible. It'll clean up. But here's the new bearings I got for it. My buddy's got a machine shop, and he told me, to get the Durabonds there. they're a one-piece design, and they don't have that finger locking groove in it like stock bearings do. And these are the heads I had on it. These are 243s with LS9 gaskets that have been reused with copper coat. These are the VTR 660 springs. And coincidentally, these are the second engine these springs have killed. The 6.0 that was in the red truck, it kicked out 3 cam bearings, but it was a Gen 3 6.0, so I really didn't care. I'm a little upset that about this, especially since I just did all this work. This is a 6.0 I put together and was gonna put in there, but this one has flat tops on it. This one's got flat tops. I honed it and put it together and was going to use this one and put it in there. And then after the whole cam bearing debacle, I was like, I'm just going to pull this one out, fix it, put new cam bearings in. I'll see how the press fit goes. And, if it feels like it's got a good stick in it, good grip, then I'll just run it. And then we're talking about putting this one in the black turbo truck that has the 4.8 in it, just because it has no torque. I'm just not impressed with 4.8s. I know a lot of people run them in turbo stuff and everything, but in these trucks, when you got the weight and everything, they just don't have the torque to pull it. He's not happy with it. Of course, there were a couple issues. Some of the plug wires were burned and messed up, so we're going to fix everything we can on it. And then if not, then I'll swap this crank out to a 58X crank I have, and then I'm going to put dish pistons in it, and then 243s or 317s on it, and then we'll put it in the black truck. These are the set of headers for the Denali, which I'm still waiting on the cylinder head from the machine shop. I don't know if I'm ever going to get that head back. I should have never taken it to that guy. Lesson learned, I will not be using him again. But anyway, I think what it is, you put the bigger cam in it, you put the stronger valve springs in it, and then just the added pressure and everything from the stronger springs just causes these things to kick the cam bearings. And it's, like I say, this is the second one in a year, I guess. Yeah, a year. It's been a year. So actually, now that I think about it, this one did it the exact same time my other 6.0 did it last year. So, lesson learned. And again, I talked to my other machine shop buddy, and he told me, he said, yeah, you put the big valve springs on it and everything, and then you got how many mile engine, and just the way that the cam bearings are made, the factory cam bearings with that finger lock groove, they just, for some reason, they just won't stay in there. And he says that I should just be able to knock another set of bearings in it and be good to go. So this is the tool I bought from Summit. I think it was like $75, and we knocked the old cam bearings out last night. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to knock in, see if this is the one that spun, but it wasn't. It was still in the block, still in the hole. So hopefully it didn't waller out in the block where it won't hold the new bearing. If that doesn't work, then I'll be forced to go with that engine over there. So we'll see how that turns out. And because I really want to get this truck back together, because I really like it. I like the 4-wheel drive. This is the first 4-wheel drive truck I've had in a long time, and I just really like this truck. This is a manual transfer case out of the black truck, but it's 27 spline because it was behind the 4L60. So I need to figure out how to change that input to a 32 spline to put behind this 80 so I can have a floor shifted forward transfer case, which is my preference. I don't know why they ever went to electronic shift in a four-wheel drive. That's just moronic, because you've got an electric motor and all the devices and wiring it takes to do that, when you can just reach down, grab it, pull it in gear, you know it's in gear, and go. I mean, that's just the simplest way to do it. And then they had to come in and overcomplicate it with all this electronics and boxes, electrical boxes and sensors, and just, keep it simple, stupid. So anyway, I've got a HD 263 case, so it's 32 spline, but I don't know much about the interchangeability of that input shaft. If I can change the input shaft on this case from a 27 spline to the 32 spline, I don't know if this piece will interchange between a 263 case and whatever this is. This one doesn't look like the normal cases I'm used to seeing, but I'm very surprised that black truck, it's a 2008. I'm surprised it was a manual shift. I mean, you just don't see floor shifted stuff anymore. So this is a sensor on this one that actually actuates the front differential. So when you put it in there, I guess this turns on the light in the dash, and then it sends it sends a ground to the front diff to lock it in so you can have four-wheel drive. It has a NP246 in it now, and that one, it turns all the time, and when you put it in four-wheel drive, it actuates the front axle and puts it in four-wheel drive. And so there's no two-wheel drive. The front drive shaft's always turning, and then you just actuate the front to put it in or out of four-wheel drive, which, again, I like less stuff turning when the truck's moving. So this one has a two-wheel drive position. So it's got 4 low, neutral, 4 high, and two-wheel drive. So I really want to use this case if I can. If not, I'll try to find a manual case. It's crazy because I've got 3 or 4 transfer cases out back, can't sell them for anything. And then you look online to find one and they want $1,000 or $500 for it, and I can't give one away. So it's funny how that goes. But anyway,